of the first piano intros I learned was the incredible song Easy by the amazing Lionel Richie. I remember learning this piano intro off the recording and listening so carefully to try and work out every note that was being played. I used to listen to this song all the time as a kid, and I remember we had it on a greatest hits CD, and I'd just sit down at the piano and play it over and over with the recording. In this video, I'm going to break down this iconic piano intro, and we're also going to see if we can take elements of Lionel Richie's piano playing and incorporate those techniques into our own chord sequences. Let's dive in. Hello, welcome back to the Keys Coach YouTube channel. My name's Adam, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. This is a really special one for me. This is such a sort of important piece of the puzzle when I was learning the piano. I remember this song just being so I used to play it all the time. So I want to teach it to you today in this video, and we're also going to look at how we can take some of Lionel Richie's techniques and import them into our own chord sequences. So I'm going to break it down for you step by step. Now, this song is in the key of A flat. All of the chords we're going to be playing come out of that scale. So I'm going to teach it to you. So the first chord in the intro is an A flat triad. And it's actually in root position. And I know I've done lots of videos on this channel where I've said try and avoid root position. Maybe there's a small exception with this song. Okay, so here we go. That is the first chord. And you can see we're doing root note octaves in our left hand. We've got a thumb up here and our little finger down there. It's really good to get octaves really secure in your left hand. My hand automatically goes to the length of an octave. It's a really good idea to try and practice that. Just so you can put your hand straight down on the piano and hit that octave. Now this song is all hinged around this rhythm. So don't worry about the chords for the moment, just think about the rhythm. Ba, ba da da, da, ba da da, da, ba da da, da. That's the whole rhythm. That's like the rhythmic language of the whole song. So it goes. Do you see there? I'm using my thumb as like a toggle, and I've spoken about this before. You can toggle between your thumb and the upper part of your hand. I'm playing all of the notes together. I'm then using my thumb in between. I'm then going back to my third and fifth, and then back to the thumb. So watch. See that? That's the pattern. The second chord in the sequence is a C minor 7. And I've spoken about this in a previous video. The way I think of all minor 7 chords, you have to find the major triad. You can see in my right hand, even though I'm playing a C down here in octaves, up here, if I take that root note away, I've got an E flat triad. So you can think of C minor 7 as E flat over C. It's a much easier way of thinking about it because then you can use all your major shapes over minor 7 chords. So as you can see here, we've got a major triad in the right hand, we've got our E flat triad with a C in the bass. And we're going to do that exact same rhythm again. Now the next chord's going to be a B flat minor 7. And all we're going to do is we're going to move our whole voicing here down a tone. Okay, B flat minor 7. Again, you can see there's a major triad in this B flat minor 7 because every minor 7 has a major triad within it. And that major triad is a D flat triad. You can see in my right hand, that's a D flat triad. We've got D flat, A flat, and F, which if I rearrange those notes, is a D flat triad. There. So we've got. See that? I'll do it once more. Now then we're going to go to what I call a 4/5 chord. Okay, 4/5 sounds like this. It's so iconic in so much music, 4/5. I use 4/5 way more than I use 5, weirdly. Whenever I'm playing any kind of pop song or folk song or whatever it is, I'll always opt for a 4/5 because I find it so much softer than a 5 chord. It's this one here. 4/5 in the key of A flat will be D flat in my right hand and E flat in my left hand. So the whole thing is. Let me just show you what it would be like if I used a regular 5 chord. So rather than going D flat over E flat, let me show you what it would sound like if I just used a regular E flat. Do you see? It just doesn't have that same kind of sense of, I don't know, it just doesn't flow as well for me. The 4 over 5, it just softens it. I think it's because it contains this note. It contains the key note. We're in the key of A flat. So it's got an A flat in there in that voicing. So there's the first part of the intro. Now the second part of it just has this extra little line in it. It goes... So let me break that down for you. It's pretty much the same, except here you go up. So watch. See that? You can actually even add a little skip. I think that's what they actually do on the track. You go, which is exactly the same as before, C minor 7, and then you go, and you hold that chord. I'll just show you all of that. Hold the B flat minor 7, and it does a very quick 4 over 5 back to 1. So let me put the whole thing together now for you. Now I know there's a lot of stuff going on there, so to help you, I've put together a free PDF lesson book which contains the notation for everything I'm going to cover today. The link is down in the episode description, it's completely free, go ahead and grab your copy. I'm going to have a go at playing that intro now with the backing track. Let's give it a go. There's a little bit of rhythm that's slightly different. Coming up now. Here we go. See that? So all that was there was this. It's just a little way of kind of reinforcing that 4 over 5. Now you're probably noticing whenever I'm playing this, I'm occasionally just doing little things different. I might do an extra little thing in my left hand, something like that, or I might do a slightly different voicing or a different inversion in my right hand. And that's really important when you're playing a song. You want the accompaniment to sound slightly different every time. You don't want it to sound like you're on a loop. Does that make sense? You want it to kind of sound each time the chord sequence comes round. You just want there to be something that's a little bit different from the time you heard it before. Let me play that whole intro again. And I'm just going to vary some stuff up deliberately so you can hear how I might make it sound a little bit more creative and a little bit more so it flows. Let's give it a go. Can you hear that? I'm basically playing the same thing, but I'm just occasionally adding notes, I'm occasionally changing the inversion of things, I'm adding a little occasional melody at the top, adding some extra notes in my bass, all very small kind of changes. But if you do that each time a sequence goes through, just those little adjustments, it makes it sound so much more natural and it gets it out of that kind of loop and like you're playing it exactly the same each time. Now, one of the things I really like to do whenever I've learned something, whether that's a piano introduction or a voicing or whatever it is, I immediately want to take it out of the song it's come from and I want to put it into my own sequence. We're going to move into the key of C. I want us to be out of A flat, okay? Because sometimes it's good to switch the key up so your ears get a bit of a break and you kind of hear stuff in a new kind of context. And the chords go C, G over B, B flat, F. And then we're just going to do a little 4 over 5 at the end, which in the key of C would be F over G. C, G over B, G in the right hand, B in the bass, B flat, F, and then F over G. So if we think about the rhythmic pattern that Lionel Richie was doing on the song Easy, he was doing this thing between his 3rd and 5th finger and his thumb. He was using his thumb to toggle. So we're going to do that over all of the chords in our sequence. So we're going to go C, G over B, see that? Then B flat, then to F. I'll do that again. Now, I always like to do this thing on a 4 chord, which is where you go... Do you see what I did there? So I kind of went F sus4 to F over G. So I went like 4 as a sus chord to then 4 over 5. So I'll show you that in context. Someone actually posted a comment on a video I did recently asking me about the chord flat 7, and we're actually using flat 7 here. So in the key of C, 7 would be a B, but flat 7 would be a B flat. And you can see we've got a B flat in this sequence. B flat major. Now, B flat isn't diatonic to the key of C. No, it doesn't fit in the notes of C major. It's not one of the chords that comes directly from the key. But you need to get it under your fingers because it's in so many songs, okay? It's like everywhere. It's I think it's one of the core sounds you need to get together. It's just everywhere. Check this out. I've nicked that bit as well. This is something I do all the time. Whenever I find a chord I like or a melody, whatever it is, I get it out of the song it's originally from, I put it into a new key so it sounds fresh, and I play about with it. I create a new piece of music with it. I create a new piece of music that kind of belongs to me. And as soon as you start doing that, it means that your practice becomes so much more creative and it becomes about playing your music rather than always playing other people's. Of course, there's a time to be learning other people's songs and other people's pieces, whatever. Yeah, absolutely. But the minute you can begin to make something your own, the minute the opportunities open up for you on the piano. I'm going to have another go at playing that sequence and I'm just going to change some little bits to get it out of the loop and to make it flow a little bit more. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you got something out of it. If you did, it would mean a huge amount to me if you could like the video, subscribe to the channel and ding the bell. We're still a relatively small channel and the more engagement we get, the more it just helps the channel to grow and reach new people. It would also be amazing if you could drop a comment below this video. Let me know what do you want me to focus on in the upcoming videos. I reply to all the comments and I love reading them. So yeah, let me know what do you want me to teach you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.